Hello everybody and welcome to today's lesson. Thank you for your patience in the last week. I had the COVID test positive last Friday and needed to wait for a few days in isolation. So today is the first day in 1 week for the lessons, and hopefully we can continue more or less with the same structure as before, and hopefully you will enjoy. So please put people in contact with this lesson, with this page. We're trying to grow the lessons, and hopefully more people can join and more people can learn online, and we can grow and grow and grow. My idea every day is a free lesson in relation to grammar at 9 o'clock and other classes as well during the day. So thank you for watching live and thank you for watching recorded later. If you have a question, please put your question in the comment. I can answer any questions that you have during the lesson. And finally, hopefully the connection is fine as well. Today's topic is continuing about verbs. We finished the last day speaking about verbs, irregular verbs, and today we move to the next topic in relation to questions, making the questions with verbs and also creating the negative with verbs as well. So these are the two topics for today. It's a very long topic and we might not finish everything, but we can start and look at this topic today. So as you might know, the website is the British Council website Learning English section, and it's a really superb website. It's an excellent place to learn about grammar theory and also to practice some questions as well. So this is a very good website, and every day we use this website, and we're grateful to the British Council obviously for providing this for free online for anybody who wants to join and learn. You can go to the website and follow this link yourself. Okay, so let's begin, and first I read the explanation and try to explain a little with you. Again, if you have a question, please put your question in the chat, and hopefully there'll be no problem here with the conversation and with the chat. So please, if you have a comment, put your comment here, and I will start by saying hello everyone to start the chat. So please feel free to put your comment here, and hopefully the connection is fine. Let's begin. So first, the instruction is learn about questions and negative verb forms and do the exercises on this page. Level beginner. Yes and no questions are very common in English, and it's important to know how to create the question that requires only yes or no as the answer. So this is important. For example, coffee. Do you want coffee? The only possible answer is yes or no. Therefore, it's important to create the structure of the sentence to have the answer only yes or the answer only no. And this is possible in English. So yes, no questions are questions which we answer with only yes or no. So look at these statements. For example, they are working hard. This is the affirmative, no question, just statements, affirmative. They are working hard. That's the present continuous. Hard is considered an adjective and an adverb. In this case, it's an adverb, and they is the subject. So they, the people, present continuous, are working hard. So in the next step, we will create the question, but at the moment, it's the affirmative. Next example, they will be working hard. Exactly the same, except the verb is the future simple. So the present continuous, they are working hard. The future continuous, sorry, they will be working hard. It's the future continuous. They will be working hard. In the past, the past perfect, they had worked hard. That's considered, that formula, the extra verb have plus the participle, that formula is the past perfect. The next one is the present perfect continuous. They have been working hard. So different tenses, all affirmative. Next, they might have been working hard. A modal possibility plus the present perfect continuous. So complicated, complex tenses, but all affirmative. Okay, now we make yes/no questions by putting the first part of the verb in front of the subject. So to create the yes/no question from this sentence, we put the first part of the verb in front of the subject. Okay, so you remember they are working hard was the affirmative. They are working hard. So the first part of the verb is are. This is considered the auxiliary. They are working hard is the affirmative present continuous. The first part of the verb is the verb to be, are. This is the auxiliary. So we put that at the beginning to create the question. So therefore, are they working hard is the question with the answer yes or the answer no. Next, remember, they affirmative, they will be working hard in the future continuous. They will be working hard. So to create the question, we take the first part of the verb, will, considered the auxiliary, and we put this at the beginning of the sentence. And the question becomes, will they be working hard? And the answer is yes, or the answer is no. Okay, and we look at the next one again, number 3. They had worked hard. That's the affirmative. That is the past perfect. The first part of the verb is had. And to create the yes or no question, we put had before the sentence. Had they worked hard should be the question. Had they worked hard, correct. Next, they have been working hard was the affirmative in the present perfect continuous. They have been working hard, very difficult, but that is the structure in the present perfect continuous. And to create the question in the yes or the no form, we take the first part of the verb, considered the auxiliary, and we put the first part of the verb at the beginning of the sentence. And this question becomes, have they been working hard? And then it's a yes or a no answer. Okay, so yes or no, they have been working hard or they have not been working hard. Next example, if you remember, they might have been working hard. It was a possibility, a modal verb. They might have been working hard. So to create the question, we take the first part of the verb, might, and we put this at the beginning of the sentence. And the question becomes, might they have been working hard? And this is now a yes answer or a no answer. So again, this is the rule to create a question. More specifically, the question is a yes or a no question with only one or two answers, yes or no. And that's the first way to create a question. Okay, now let's look at some questions ourselves to do some exercises. So put the words in the correct order to make yes or no questions. So let's look at this one. We need to put the words in the correct order to make the question. So normally at the beginning we have the capital letter. At the start of the sentence we have a capital letter. We have two possibilities, are or Steve. So there's two possible options at the beginning of the sentence, and the final word usually is a full stop or punctuation, and the only punctuation is tonight. Therefore, the last word, more than probable, is tonight, and the first word is are or Steve. So let's select the last word, tonight. Now, we need the affirmative first. What is the affirmative? The affirmative is the subject, the verb, and the object. So the subject here could be two subjects possible, we or Steve. We is not possible because there's no capital letter. So Steve is maybe the only affirmative, but because this is in the question form, we could be the start, we could be the subject. Okay, so the verb is to meet, and to meet in the present continuous are meeting. Okay, so it's possible two options. Steve are meeting we tonight, and that's incorrect because Steve is meeting us. So therefore, Steve is the object and the subject is we because it's plural. The affirmative, we are meeting Steve tonight. But the question, we change the position of the first part of the verb to the beginning of the sentence, and it becomes, are we meeting Steve tonight? And for me, that's very, very good. Okay, so we have 8 questions. Let's continue to the next question. Open will the door, please, you. Okay, so we need to create the question, the yes or the no question here. And also we need to consider first the affirmative just to calculate. So first we see the punctuation, the question mark. So the last word is more than probable, please. The first word is the capital letter. So therefore will is the capital letter. Will is the part of the verb to be. This could be the continuous, and we need a subject. So what is the subject? The only subject here is you or the door, but really the only subject is you. Will you? And next we need the verb. So yes, will is a verb form, but the next verb form is only open. So will you open door? But it's the door. Okay, so the object is door, and the the article, definite article, is the door. Okay, so will you open the door is the yes and no question. The affirmative is you will open the door. Okay, next, number 3. And again, we'll try this one together. So, to me, talking, you were. Again, me has the question mark, so we put me at the last position. And the capital letter is were. Okay, difficult pronunciation. I always say were. I was, you were. The pronunciation sometimes is different for different people. The subject here is you, the only possible subject. So therefore, the affirmative is you were plus the verb in the past continuous, and the only next verb is talking. So therefore, the affirmative you were talking is the past continuous affirmative. To create the question, we change the position of the verb to be before the sentence. Therefore, were you talking? And the preposition normal with talk is talk to me, talk to you, talk to him. That is the typical preposition with the verb to talk. So I think that is correct. Were you talking to him, to me? This is a yes or a no question with 2 possible answers. Yes, I was, or no, I wasn't. Next. Tea, they have finished there. Tea, they have finished there. We need the question, yes, no question form. And we also need to consider what is the affirmative. So the question mark is here. Therefore, this is more than probably the last word. The first word, capital letter, more than probable, have. Subject, only one subject, they. The next verb, only one verb, have they finished, and we have the possessive adjective, my tea, your tea, his tea, her tea, our tea, your tea, their tea. So this is the possessive adjective, and for me this is correct. Have they finished their tea? Next, do again the can she exam. So very complicated mixed options here. Again, we need the question in the yes or the no form. So we need the affirmative and change the position of the subject and the verb, the first part of the verb. So the question mark is normally the last part, and the capital letter is normally the first part of the sentence. The subject is only one subject, can she. The next verb, only one verb, do. And the object is exam plus the article the exam. Can she do the exam again? Okay, so this is the yes or no question, because the affirmative of this particular question is she can do the exam again. That means she has the permission. She can. Can is the modal verb for ability and permission. Next, 3 more. You long have waiting been. Of course, it's necessary to change this order. And the question mark is with the last word long. And the capital letter is with the first word have. The subject, you, have you. And the next verb, we have 2 verb forms. We have been and waiting. So been is probably connected to have. So the affirmative, you have been, this is the present perfect plus the continuous. So we change the position of the first part of the verb with the subject to create the question. Therefore, have you been is the question for you have been waiting. So that's a bit difficult because you have 3 parts of a verb. Next, you had Theresa's before husband met. So the verb is meet. In the past, it's irregular, meet, met. And the extra verb probably is have, had. Okay, so here probably the verbal combination is the past perfect, had met. Okay, and the subject is you, and the husband is the object. In fact, it's the husband is the possession of Teresa. So the last word, more than probable, is before. So let's put this at the end. And the first word, more than probable, is had. The subject, had you, plus the verb, had you met Teresa's husband before? Okay, for me, that's the only possible way to put that structure. Had you met Teresa's husband before? That's the yes or no question. The affirmative is you had met Teresa's husband before. Yes, you had met Teresa's husband before. But the question, had you? We change the order. Next. Should, told, police, have, we, the. The subject, we. The verb, have, plus should, plus told. We have 3 verbal forms for the verb. So should is the modal, and that typically is at the beginning, and told is the participle of tell, the third column, tell, told, plus the extra auxiliary verb have becoming the present perfect, have told. The police is the object and we is the subject. So first is the capital letter, should, and next is the subject because of the question. So should we, and now we need the verb form, and the verb combination is should we have told. And next is the object, tell me, tell you, tell him, tell us, tell them, tell the police. And police is the final word with the question mark as well. So it's possible we have some mistakes, of course, but let's select finish and check how many answers we have correct. 8 from 8, very good. So that's a good result. So hopefully you understand very well that exercise. Let's continue to the negatives, because second exercise is repetition. This exercise number 2 is just repetition of the previous exercise, and there is nothing new in that exercise. So I recommend you can try to do this for homework yourself if you have time. Negatives. We make negatives. How? How do we make it? Well, we make them by putting not after the first part of the verb. Okay, so remember, the first part is are, the second part is working. This is the present continuous. They are working hard. The first part is often known as the auxiliary. And to create the negative, we put the position of not after the first part. So the affirmative, they are working hard. The negative, they are not working hard. Second example, affirmative, they will be working hard. Future continuous, they will be working hard. The negative, they will not be working hard. So simply, we add not after the first part of the verb. Next, they had worked hard. That's the past perfect. They had worked hard. Usually, the past perfect is before another action in the past simple. Anyway, they had worked hard is the past perfect. To create the negative, we put not after the first part of the verb. They had not worked hard. So the position in this case, the position in these cases is very important. Affirmative, they have been working hard. It's the present perfect continuous. They have been working hard. To create the negative, they have not been working hard. Not is in the position after the first part of the verb. Next, they might have been working hard. It's a possibility, but to create the negative, we put not after the first part of the verb. Speaking in English, frequently, often, we use contraction, not to end. So they are not working hard. In spoken English, more typically, they aren't working hard. Aren't, it's difficult pronunciation, working hard. Second possibility, they won't be working hard. This is the contraction for will not. Won't, difficult. They will not becomes won't. They had not becomes hadn't. They hadn't been working hard. And have not becomes haven't. So contractions, contractions, contractions. And might not becomes mightn't. Might not becomes mightn't. Okay, let's try the exercises here for the negatives. Put the words in order to make negative sentences. Okay, so we have this cannot print document I. We need the negative sentence. We need the subject, we need the verb, and we need the object. The subject is I. There's only one possibility. So I. The verb is can and print. Can is for permission and ability. So I have the permission to print, or I have the ability to print. So I can print. So can is the next verb. However, we need the negative, and the negative is not, and the position of not is after the first part of the verb. I cannot print this document. I'm going to put that here because I'm worried. Okay, so I cannot print, and then the document is the object, and this is considered the demonstrative or a determiner, very technical vocabulary, but basically it's in this position. I cannot print this document is the negative of the verb to print. Next. Phone is answering not her at the moment. Sybil, very complicated, confused combination here. We need the correct order. for the negative sentence. So the subject, Sybil. There's only one subject. So at the beginning of the sentence, probably it's Sybil. The verb is answering plus the verb to be is. So it's the present continuous, is answering, present continuous. So we put the first part of the verb is. The sentence is negative, therefore not goes in the position after is. And the second part is answering. Answering object, what is the object? Her phone. So my phone, your phone, his phone, her phone. And the adverb is now, later, at the moment. So she's not answering her phone at the moment. For me, that's very, very good. It's the negative sentence. Okay, next. We have was not to you, I talking. Again, complicated structure. We need to think of the typical structure in English: subject, verb, object. The subject is I and you. However, you has the punctuation, so you is probably at the end of the sentence. So I is the first part. The verb talking and was. So it's the past continuous. I was talking, past continuous. We need a negative, and the negative is after the first part of the verb was. I was not talking is the construction. I was not talking. And the preposition with talk is typical: to talk to you, talk to me, talk to him, talk to her, talk to you. Okay, I was not talking to you. Let's continue to the next part. Again, a long combination. Spend money, should, so much, clothes, not on you. We need the negative form of this sentence. So again, we look first for the subject. What is the subject? You. This is the only subject, you. So you, let's put at the beginning. The verbs or verb, spend, should. Two possible verbal forms. Should is recommendation and advice. You should contact your friend. It's a recommendation and advice. So the modal should is typically at the beginning. If it's negative, we put not after the first part of the verb. You should not spend. Spend what? Spend time, spend energy, spend money. Yes, but we also have a quantifier or an intensifier, and this becomes before money. So you should not spend so much money. And typical preposition with spend, on. Spend money on your family, spend money on your friends, spend money on food, spend money on chocolate, spend money on clothes. Therefore, the sentence is: you should not spend so much money on clothes. It's a recommendation, it's advice, and it's in the negative form. Okay, next, 4 more. Bought, horrible, that, please tell me, not, quote, have you. So maybe you want to press pause, you want to try this exercise yourself and think about the possible correct order. Again, we know it's a negative sentence because not. So that's the key word. And also we need to look for the same structure: subject, verbs, objects. So the subjects, only one, you. Okay, you. So it's not the capital letter. So therefore, it's not the first word. The capital letter is please. So this is the first word. Please, or first words, plural. Please tell me. Now the subject is you. The verb, have and bought. Bought is irregular for buy. Buy food, buy clothes, buy in the past is bought. So the construction is have bought. That's the present perfect. So please tell me you have bought, but it's the negative, therefore the position of not is after have. Please tell me you have not bought. Okay, please tell me you have not bought this, that, specific, that coat. Coat is the object, but the adjective is horrible, that horrible coat. Please tell me you have not bought that horrible coat. So obviously the opinion of the coat is not good. So please tell me you have not bought that horrible coat is the correct order and the correct structure. Next, 3 more. De eaten, not had, I wish, fish. Verb, sorry, in the negative, it's definitely negative. Not is the key word. We need a subject, I, and I, we have 2 subjects. So we need to be careful. And I don't know yet at the moment. Let's start with the full stop and the punctuation. The full stop, fish is the last word. The first word is I or I because they have 2 capital letters. And okay, so let's begin with the first just to experiment. I wish is the first verb, and the next verb is also had plus eaten. So we have 3 verbal forms in this sentence, and had eaten is the past perfect, and the negative would had not eaten. So I think this is the structure. I wish, it's a new clause, and after the subject we need another verb. I had plus the negative, not eaten participle, the for the article, the fish. I wish I had not eaten the fish. 2 more. Living, not here, been, long, we have. Negative, not. Subject, we. Verb, been, living, have. We have 3 verbal forms. Location, object, here, and adverb, long. Okay, so the subject is we. The verb is have, not have been, living. So the first part is have because it's the present perfect, have been, and the negative is not, have not been, living. So that's the present perfect continuous in the negative. Here is the location. Long is the adverb. We have not been living here long. So the position of not is after the first part of the verb. Okay, and last one. Not offering, we, be, will, I'm afraid, the job, you. So not, it's the negative, that's the important part. Not, it's the negative. The verb is offering, will, be, will, offering, be, offering. There's 3 verbal forms, will, offering, be, plus not. So the subject is we, or the subject is I, like I wish. So the beginning is I'm afraid. This means I regret, I'm sorry. Subject in the new clause, we. Verb, will, be. Okay, but it's the negative, will not be. Offering. Offer me, offer you, offer him, offer her. Offer needs the subject pronoun, the object pronoun. Offer me, offer you, offer him. So offering you what? Their job. Okay, I'm afraid we will not be offering you their job. Very important, and that is the negative form of the sentence. And that's the end. I think we might have a couple of errors, but let's check. Everything is good. Well done. 8 from 8. So that is very interesting. And the second exercise is repetition. The second exercise is the same, nothing new. I recommend you try this later for homework, for revision, just to refresh the exercise number 1. Okay, next we move to present simple and past simple questions and negatives. Again, if you have a question, please put your question here. And hello, Wanda or Juanita, thank you for your comment. I hope that you are enjoying the lesson. Juanita, if you have any particular questions, please put the question there, and thank you for your comment. And I hope that everybody is enjoying the grammar. Grammar always is heavy. Grammar always is difficult, and it's exactly the same here. We need to concentration to learn grammar. You need time to study grammar, and you need to study on your own. But hopefully this lesson can help a little, and that's my idea, to help a little. But really you need to study yourself a lot of grammar, and my objective, my intention is just to help a little with any doubts or questions. Okay, present simple and past simple, questions and negatives. Okay, for all verbs except be and have, so be and have are exceptional. So for other verbs we use do or does or did to make the questions in the present simple and the past. So basically we use an auxiliary verb do. I do, you do, he does, she does in the present simple, but the past simple, I did, you did, he did, she did. Everybody is the same in the past, did, but the present it's do or does. And this makes the question yes or no. For example, the affirmative, they is the subject, work is the verb, hard is the adverb. They work hard, that is the subject affirmative. And to create the yes no question, normally we change the position of work and the subject. Work they hard? No, because it's not the verb to be and it's not the verb to have. So the second way to do this is to add an auxiliary verb do. So that is important. We simply add do at the beginning for the present simple question form. Do they work hard is the question. Okay, and I think that's all the column. Yeah, exactly. So I'm just zooming in. Sorry, I'm zooming in and zooming out with my computer. Next, affirmative. He is the subject, works is the verb, and hard is the adverb. So he works hard. To create the question, normally we change the position of the verb, works he hard, to the beginning, but no, because it's not the verb to be and to have, therefore the second way to create the question is to add the verb to do at the beginning of the sentence. Because it's the third person, I do, you do, he does, she does, it becomes does at the beginning. Does he work hard? Okay, so this is the question. Very difficult English, but very easy for English speakers, but difficult when you're learning English. Next, affirmative. They worked hard. Again, the people, they, the verb work in the past, worked, and hard is the adverb. Normally, to create the question, we put the verb before the subject. Worked they hard? No, because it's not the verb to be and not the verb to have. So the second possible way to create the simple yes no question is to add the verb to do at the beginning, but it's the past, so the verb to do transforms into the past. Do, did they work hard? Very, very important, because after do we have the infinitive. Did they work hard? Not worked. So that's very important. Even though it's the past, we keep the infinitive form with did. Next, for all verbs except be and have, so be and have are exceptional and very important. I think basically we change the position of the subject and the verb with be and have. to create the yes, no questions. For other verbs, we use do plus not in the present to create the negative. I do not like in the present, and in the past, I did not like. If it's the third person, does. So same again. They work hard, affirmative. They work hard. We want to create the negative. And with the verb to be and have, we normally say not after the first part. They will not work hard. They have not worked hard. But this is the present simple, so we use the verb to do. So they do not work hard, or they don't work hard. Okay, so that's just important to memorize and to remember for the present simple and the past simple. Affirmative, he works hard. Okay, this is the affirmative. He works hard in the present simple. The negative, he does not work hard, because it's not the verb to be and it's not the verb to have. So he does not work hard, or he doesn't work hard. Okay. Next, the affirmative, they worked hard. Past simple, subject, they worked hard. The negative, they did not work hard, and it's the verb to do in the past, did, and the verb stays in the infinitive even though it's the past. So they did not work hard is the past negative of that sentence. Very important, very difficult, very necessary to review, very necessary to study again, because this is a fundamental part of English speaking all the time. Here are the question forms and negative forms for be. So the verb to be is exceptional a little in the present and the past. So let's zoom out a little so you can see everything. And here we go. So the verb to be, positive, I am. I am, you are, he is, she is, etc. Question, we just changed the position of the subject and the verb. I am I? Negative, I am not. Okay, so not goes in the position after the first part of the verb with the verb to be and to have. Next, positive, he is or he's. He is. Question, is he? Yes, no question, is he? And negative, he is not, or he's not, or he isn't. Okay, so that is how we create the question and the negative for the verb to be in particular. She is, she's. Question, is she? Simple. Okay, because it's the verb to be. The negative, she is not, or she isn't. It, affirmative, it is. It is. Question, is it? Change the position, very simple. And the negative, it is not. Plural, you are. Question, are you? Negative, you are not, or you're not, or you aren't. We've two possible contractions of the negative for you. Plural, they are. Question, are they? Because it's the verb to be, and it's possible to do this with the verb to be. If it's not the verb to be, we use the auxiliary verb to do. If it's not to be or to have. Negative, they are. Affirmative, they are not, or they're not, or they aren't. So that's probably the most difficult. They aren't and you aren't. Next, the verb to be in the past simple. Affirmative, I was. Question, was I? And the negative, the same structure, I was not or I wasn't. So the verb to be is this typical formula. He was. Question, was he? Negative, he was not. Not difficult, or he wasn't. So you understand, I think. She was in the past. Question, was she? Negative, she was not or she wasn't. Contraction. It was a beautiful day. It was. Question, was it? Negative, it was not or it wasn't. Contraction. Okay. Singular or plural, you. In the past simple, you were. Question, were you? Negative, you were not. Or contraction, you weren't. Difficult pronunciation, and maybe my pronunciation is unique. With that, you weren't. Some people say were not, were not. So my pronunciation is you weren't. You weren't happy. Difficult, because some people have different pronunciation of this one, including me. Plural, they were. Question, were they? Negative, they were not, or contraction, they weren't. So again, the same pronunciation, they weren't for me. We make questions. So let's continue to the next section here, and I'll just zoom in again. We make questions and negatives with have. So remember, the verb to be and the verb to have are exceptional when making the question and the negative. So now we speak about the verb to have in two different ways. Usually we use do or does because it's the present, I do, you do, he does, she does, or the past, did, for the verb to have. For example, affirmative, you have plenty of time. Affirmative, you have a lot of time. You have loads of time. Plenty has the significance lots of. And to create the question, we add do. Similar to the other verbs. You like chocolate. Do you like chocolate? So with the verb have, we use the verb do auxiliary to create the question. Next, she has enough money. Okay, she has enough money. But the question, because it's the third person, does she, that's exceptional. Does she have enough money? That's important because normally the affirmative is she has enough money. But when you create the question, we need to say, does she have enough money? Next, they have any useful advice. So the question, did they have any useful advice in the past? Okay. Negative, I don't have much time. So I do not have much time. I do not have much time is the negative construction. She does not have any money. That is the negative of the verb to have. She does not have any money. They did not have any advice to offer. But we can also make questions by putting have or had in front of the subject. Okay, so you have plenty of time is the affirmative. You have plenty of time. To create the question, we simply change the position also for the verb to have. So the verb to have is possible. The verb to do, to create the question, or just to change the position. Have you plenty of time? She has enough money. Affirmative, she has enough money. The question, has she enough money? Or the second possibility, does she have enough money? And the second, third example, they have useful information, or they had useful information in the past. Question, do they have, did they have useful information, or had they useful information? So difficult, very difficult to remember all of this, but it's important, and I recommend that you try to study as well yourself this. To make negatives by putting not or nt after have. So for example, I have not much time. That's the third way to say I do not have much time with the verb to do. And the second example is she hasn't any money is the same as she does not have any money. Exactly the same, just a contraction. He hadn't any advice to offer. He had not any advice to offer. So it was exactly the same, just a contraction. Let's look at this difficult exercise, I think. So complete the sentences, complete the questions and negatives with the correct expressions. Let's see. So we've options: don't, does, doesn't, didn't, don't, do, didn't, did, do, did. And we need the correct option. So you need some help with your suitcase is the affirmative. You need help, some help with your suitcase object, and it's the present. And need is in the correct position, because remember, one technique is need you help, but we don't use that with the verb need because it's not the verb to be nor the verb to have. Therefore, the second possibility is to introduce the auxiliary verb do. And is do in the present, the past, and what person? First person, second person. So do you need, I think, is the correct one. Do you need some help with your suitcases? Number 2, we will have, obligation, future, have to. We will have to find another bank machine. Okay, it's an obligation. We have no choice. We will have to find another bank machine. This one, work, in the negative function. And this one, this bank machine, does not, it, because it's a third person, it does not work in the present. Okay, I think it's more comfortable in the present. Maybe it's possible this one did not work in the past, but I think it continues in the present not to function. Therefore, this one does not work at the moment, but it is possible in the past this one did not work. Excuse me. Next, it's definitely the past, last night. The verb is sleep. The subject is you. So we need the auxiliary verb do, and well is the adverb, I think, or an adjective. I think it's the adverb. The adjective is good and the adverb is well. So it's the past. So the auxiliary verb to do probably is in the past, did. Did you sleep well last night? That sounds very good. Next, Brenda is the girl's name. In the past, she was upset, sad, angry, disappointed. Brenda was upset. Why? Because her sister sent her a birthday card, birthday present. So the verb is to send, and it's the past. Brenda was upset in the past. Why? Because her sister sent in the past with the auxiliary do, negative for the context, because the sister did not send her a birthday present. So the correct answer should be did not, which is the contraction, didn't. Okay. Eat is the verb, eat bread, and it's possible the past, I didn't eat bread, but the second clause, it makes me fat. Bread makes, in the present simple, makes me fat. So probably the first sentence is also the present, and the negative of eat is the auxiliary verb do in the negative. I do not eat bread. Okay, I do not, I don't. So I do not is the same as contracted don't. I don't eat bread because it makes me fat. Number 6, you want to get a coffee before the film starts. So, tense, is it the present? Is it the past? It's a bit flexible. The verb is want, to get, to obtain, want to buy a coffee before the film starts. And it's possible, did you want? But I think it's the present. Do you want? Auxiliary, do you want? I think it's the present of the verb to do. Do you want? So let's select do with a capital letter. And I think that's good. Number 7, we is the subject. cook is the verb, at home is the location, and the adverb is often, frequently, very often, very frequently. So it's negative because we're too busy, we're occupied, we don't have time. So therefore cook is in the negative, and probably it's the present because it's something, a routine or a habit. So probably we do not cook at home very often, which contracts. We don't cook at home very often, I think. Interesting. Okay, so this is a good exercise, and I'm going very fast, but if you want, you can pause this video. You can pause this video and you can try this exercise yourself first, and then you can check my answers and my explanation, but it's a very good exercise. The train, Bob's train, arrive on time yesterday. Question. Okay, question, and it's yesterday, and the verb is arrive. So therefore we need probably an auxiliary verb to do, and the past. So did Bob's train arrive on time yesterday? Did in the past. Okay, because it's the past. And every person is did in the past. I did, you did, he did, she did, we did, it did, you did, they did, etc. Michelle still go to Spanish classes these days. So the verb is to go. Still is a type of adverb, I think. So the verb is okay. We need another verb, auxiliary verb, do. And because Michelle is the third person, it's the present. These days, we say does Michelle. Okay, so does Michelle still go to Spanish classes these days? Number 10, that was a very dangerous thing to do in the past. You are lucky now. You hurt in the past. So I think it's the past. Hurt is irregular. Hurt in the present, hurt in the past, so hurt, hurt, hurt. It's an irregular verb, but this sentence, the action was in the past. That was a very dangerous thing to do. You are lucky now, or you're lucky in the past. You did not. Past auxiliary do in the past, did, and the negative did not hurt yourself. So you were lucky you did not hurt yourself. Very interesting, very good exercise. I recommend you try to review that. I recommend you try to do that exercise yourself first before my video, before my explanation, if possible. Now we check the answers. It's possible some mistakes. 10 from 10. Very good. So today's lesson was about creating the negative and creating the creating the negative for different verbs and the questions. So next, and I think finally, where we have a little more, you can see we have a lot more. So maybe we leave, yeah, I think we stop for the moment because it's a very long lesson. And tomorrow we continue with this section, the WH questions. And I think that's the plan for tomorrow. We continue with this list every day, little by little. The plan is approximately 1 hour lesson each day. And tomorrow we have more material to check. So thank you so much for watching today. Thank you for your interest. Thank you for your time. Thank you for your patience in the last week. Again, I had COVID for the last 6 days, 7 days, and I was not in a position to teach really. So now I'm improving, and I hope we can continue on Facebook Live. Questions? Do you have any questions? So, hello crew. Thank you so much for your comment, crew, and thank you for your for watching and for interacting. I hope you understand me, and thank you so much for your participation. So hopefully you can follow the page, and if you have any specific questions, please put your question in the chat. And thank you everybody for participating. I hope you enjoy the lesson. Remember, everything is free, and you are welcome to make a subscription if you want to support me. If you can support me, it's very welcome. You can make a subscription with my bank, and obviously it's euro, but all currency is possible, currency in different parts of the world, or alternatively PayPal. You can see the link in my Facebook post. So if you want to support me, that's very, very good and very important. I will also be looking for businesses to support me, and maybe charities to do a partnership with a charity or a collaboration. So they are my plans at the moment to support and to fund this project. So hopefully I can make progress with all that. But that's the information if you want. Thank you so much. Have a very good day. And I will plan to see you later today on Facebook Live very soon. And if you have a question on WhatsApp, you can send your question, you can send your contact, and any doubts I can try to answer you on WhatsApp here with the number as well. Okay, thank you. Have a great day, and hopefully I will talk to you soon. Thank you so much and have a very good morning. Bye bye.